In a recent interview, Team Cherry revealed that bosses in Silksong, quote, decide what they want to do and then move into the correct position, which is a complete inversion of the combat rhythm they established in the first game, where it was your position that decided whether the boss would either use a dash or slash, which allowed skilled players to leash the bosses and dictate the fight by forcing predictable AI loops. Silksong completely dismantles this player-controlled pacing by having the bosses become an active strategist rather than a reactive machine, meaning you can no longer passively bait specific attacks when trying to cheese an encounter. Now you're on the defense against a creature actively hunting for the optimal angle, and this intent-first architecture introduces a new layer of readability to the combat, the setup phase. Where in Hollow Knight movement and attack were often simultaneous, in Silksong, because the boss has to position itself correctly, their movement becomes part of the telegraph. So if they suddenly retreat, you can tell it's a specific setup for a maneuver, requiring you to read the trajectory of the enemy, not just their wind-up animation. This new microgame of interception is wonderfully benefited by Hornet's increased agility, as it allows you to either punish or avoid their attack before it even begins, because if the bosses are programmed to aggressively reposition themselves, a grounded, slower character would feel unfairly overwhelmed. The knight's defensive dash-focused movement was perfect for reacting to telegraph strikes, but Hornet's ability to grapple, dive, and heal mid-air is necessary to compete with enemies that are constantly shifting the front line of the battle, creating a cat-and-mouse dynamic where the boss is chasing a win condition through positioning, and Hornet has to use her superior speed to deny that condition. Which is why Silksong's increased difficulty comes from a chaotic scramble for dominance over the arena, rather than just tighter reaction windows. See, Hollow Knight employed the turn-based rhythm used by games like Dark Souls, dodge, hit, heal, dodge, hit, while Silksong's boss's AI breaks this illusion by decoupling the boss's aggression from the player's state. If it decides to go for a 3-hit combo, it might pursue you across the room relentlessly, regardless of whether you're healing, attacking, or fleeing, creating the sense of frantic organic desperation that more closely resembles Sekiro. The boss is no longer waiting for your permission to escalate the encounter, now they're imposing their will upon it, forcing you to carve out openings with brute force or tools, rather than waiting for polite windows of downtime. For more Silksong essays, here's one where I have the nerve to defend boss runbacks.